What's the worst lie I've ever been told? That I got a future in the business. So, there you go. Right on. Yep.
All we did was tell one lie.
Hundreds and hundreds of times over many, many years.
If the truth does come out, my marriage is over.
What if we hire an actor to play Stanicky?
Hi guys, how are you?
Hi.
I have to say that I couldn't stop laughing while I was watching the film, so congratulations on that.
You're welcome.
Hi.
You're very welcome.
Jermaine, I have to say Wes is my favorite character because I think he's the most true to himself, no matter what people think about him. So I want to know, how can we do that on real life?
Well, personally, I just believe having a solid sense of who you are is important, but also like, having a good support system is key too. I always hang around people I've grown up with, like my homies from like Maryland. I've known them since I was a kid, so we humble each other. We always humble each other. We have a group chat that is the meanest group chat I've ever been a part of, and they don't care that I act. They don't care I'm in movies at all,
Good.
and it's actually exactly
Yeah, humbling.
That's why I think staying humble is important. Keeping your ego out of things is very important.
Yeah, totally. And now, Andrew, JD is married, he just became a father, and he works in a top firm. And I get the feeling that he's like afraid that he's going to lose his friends as he continues to grow up. So I need you to tell us how to embrace this adult moment in life.
Depends on where you are in your own personal life, but you're gonna lose your friends to life, babies and work and drugs and alcohol, and life will take its turns without your control. I think as you get older, you just value the ones that you value the most, and you hold on to the tightest knit that you can. But yeah, you are going to lose a couple of your friends, but I think your core friends will be there for the rest of your life if they really mean something, if they're really worth it.
Yeah. The first thing I ask my friends when I first meet them is like, how long are we going to be friends?
Yeah.
And if they say, it depends on how long they think. It's got to be a mutual thing,
Yeah, and would you say that is something experience has given you? I don't know, like to choose thoroughly those friends.
Yeah, I mean, I think as you get older, you start to pick who you value the most. My wife asks me all the time, she always says, if you met that guy today, would you be friends with him, or are you just friends with him because you've known him for a long time? I think that's an interesting perspective. You go, maybe, maybe not. And if you say still yes, then it's probably a real friend of yours. If it's someone that was just at a point in your life, then it may not be a core real friend. But you sift through that as you get older, and that's kind of what this movie has in it, is these guys are real friends. They would do anything for each other, almost too much, which is an issue, and then we see why.
Yeah. I keep it simple. We play Russian roulette, survivor wins. And,
I want to know where the hell you guys were tonight. We called every hospital and there was no record of a Ricky Stanicky.
I think the films show us is that friendship is really important, to stick together as a group. So I would like to know, at this point in your life, how do you manage to hang out with friends? And most importantly, how did it change the way you choose those friends?
Well, interesting. Yeah, I mean, this story is about, three best friends that they go back so long in life. They've been friends since, childhood, and they've committed to this lie that in one way or another is it needs to be real for important purposes. Like it's keeping their marriages alive. It's keeping them having fun in their lives. It really is like the epitome of a story about loyalty. Yeah. So it's fun. I think that's a true friend, is a loyal friend, somebody you can depend on. I think that is really important when you're picking and choosing your friends. It's everything.
Show's over, Rod. It's Ricky. Ricky Stanicky isn't real. My job sucked. I had no friends. But now I have all those things.
John, I think it was really natural the way you portrayed Rod and Ricky. With that passion, they have to pursue their dreams. So I would like to know if there is something you learned from them.
I think there's something you can learn every day, right? I think every day is an opportunity to learn something. And if you wake up and you feel you can't learn anything, I don't know. I think you should reevaluate your life. But oddly enough, for me, it's just for my lane of this movie, it is a story about somebody who's really passionate about what they do and sees the opportunity in everything. And that's really close to home for me in life. In no way, shape, or form should I be sitting here talking to you right now, but I've just been dumb enough to try every single time opportunity knocks. And that comes with a whole lot of failure too. Just like Ricky, he has a lot more strikeouts than he does home runs, but he never loses his passion and he never loses his perseverance. And those things are really close to my value system. So that was an easy switch to turn on.
Well said.
I think the key of this is second chances, right? Like in life, you can also have 2 or 3 chances and change the path of your life.
Well, so I'm so glad you got that takeaway. Again, I hate telling audiences how to feel about a movie. I want people like you to be able to sit down, and if your takeaway is second chances, that's great. From my perspective, if you've ever met the person with a perfect life, I'd like to shake their hand. We all live in a bit of a glass house, so I think second chances are a very important theme for the arc of life. Nobody's perfect.
I want you to admit that Ricky Stanicky does not exist.
Hey, más poca!
We know this movie is filled with lies, so I want to know what's the worst lie you've ever been told.
I've ever been told.
I love this. Is refreshing. Usually say which is the lie you've said or done. You know what I mean? But this is good. It's gotta be like a childhood lie, right?
Santa Claus is a pretty big one.
My parents would not let me believe Santa Claus was a real.
Really?
We were broke. My mom didn't want credit taken away from me.
What's the worst lie I've ever been told? That I got a future in the business. There you go. Right on. Yep.
What about you, Zac?
I don't know. Probably that something I'm doing is like really good and just doing it.
I think it's that. I think it's when you give of yourself, especially on set, and you're extremely vulnerable. We just talked with Peter, and Peter was all about creating a safe environment to breed comedy. And comedy has a lot of strikeouts. Not everything's funny.
It's not.
So I think some of the lies have to do with encouraging you to go for it, so you can get through the misses to get to the hit. So,
and Pete's unabashedly honest.
He doesn't lie. Pete doesn't lie.
He always tells it to you.
But a unique approach. That's not the norm.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's, you get reassured that you are doing good in hopes that you'll do better.
Yeah. When really you want the truth. You want to know what's honest. Are we sticking to the story? Or So yeah, I think that's one of the great things about working with Pete, and I think that's why his movies are so fantastic.
Oh, so one time I ran away from home. And because I got bad grades in my progress report, and I ran away from home because I didn't want to get in trouble with my dad. So I left a note saying, "Before you guys see the report card, I'm leaving." And I ran away from home. And my dad called the police on me, and this dude found me, and he wasn't dressed up like a cop, but he had cuffs, and he cuffed me and took me back home. And I was crying. I was scared. He told me I would go to prison for running away from home. And I get back home, and my dad said, "You learned your lesson?" I was like, "Yeah." And
oh my God.
Paid his friend. It was his friend. Paid him $20 to pretend like he was a police officer, private investigator guy, whatever.
It's a good lie.
It's an amazing lie. I never ran away from home ever again after that.
You learned your lesson.
Yeah, I learned my lesson. So that was a big lie. I still remember.
My little sister is like 8.5 years young. The difference is big from me and my little sister. So I used to tell her that we found her, that she was that we found her on the side of a road somewhere in a small town, that she was an abandoned baby. And she believed it for a long time. Yeah. And then she finally asked my mom, and she was, my mom was like, "Why would you say that?" And it was very funny at the time, but very, very mean. And she can't leave the house today because of that. She's agoraphobic. Yeah, she can't go outside.
Really?
Yeah, I damaged her permanently. It was probably not the right thing to do.
He brings her food every week, which is very nice. He's the sweetest dude.
I'm still feeding her, baby.
Mm-hmm.
I think they took it too far.
Yeah.
Well, Andrew Germain, thank you very much, and congratulations on this new film. It was such a pleasure.
Oh,
thank
you
you
very much.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We gotta get rid of him.